Hi guys, it's B-Boy Haribo, and in this tutorial we're going to learn how to do the 6th step. Okay, cool guys, so the 6th step is probably one of the most important footwork steps in the whole of breaking. It's the footwork step that people use to get into most of the other types of footwork steps and or any of the freezes or types of power moves, so it's probably the most important. So let's just get right on into it. We start just like this with our legs apart. You don't want to be too far apart as if you're kind of stretching, but just a nice even amount. And with hands, you also can either have them flat or you can have them kind of up like this. Or if you're really pro, you can be on your fingertips. Now that's going to hurt a bit, but if you think you can do it, go for it. Most beginners will start flat-handed because it's going to hurt your wrists and stuff like that, and that's totally fine. Just once you get a bit better, you can start changing it up. Personally, I usually like to do maybe one flat hand and then one up, but everyone's different. Anyway, let's get on into it. So the first step, the reason why it's called the 6th step is because there's 6 steps. So we start here, and then the first step goes like this. 1. Second step, 2, third step, 3, then we just switch hands, and here we go 4, 5, and 6. So one more time, we go 1, 2, 3, switch 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so you want to make sure that you're on the tops of your feet and not the flat bits of your feet. The other key thing is staying up. A lot of beginners, they'll usually start like here. They'll have their butts low to the ground and have their flat feet. You want to kind of be up in this position as much as possible. So let's go again and do it a little bit faster. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The other thing is, I recommend that you start and finish in the exact same position just so it helps you with the steps. But once you've become more advanced, feel free, and I recommend start traveling about. Don't be stuck in the same spot. So you can just be traveling, changing the direction of the 6th step, anything like that. So keep training the 6th step, guys. You'll pick it up easy. And I'll catch you guys in the next tutorial. Hi guys, it's B-Boy Haribo, and in this tutorial we're going to learn how to hold a handstand. Okay, cool guys, so this tutorial will teach you how to handstand even if you've never been able to handstand in your life. So the first thing you want to have is a wall. The wall is going to help you get used to going up, and it's also going to make it seem less scary, so you're not exactly going to fall over. The first thing I'll recommend is your body's not going to, if you've never done a handstand at all or any type of thing where you're kind of upside down, your body's not going to be used to it. So I really recommend that you take it in baby steps, okay? So the first thing you want to do is kind of build a bit of strength and get your hands used to going upside down. So all we want to do is we just want to practice. We go here, and then we have our hands in front of us like that, and then we take a step. For me, I'm right-footed, but I step onto my left. So if you're left-footed, then you'll actually step onto your right. So we go hands up, then hands and feet come up, then they come down, and you just want to practice just kicking up. You might not even, at the start, you might not even be able to kick up to the wall, but that's fine. You just want to make sure you're getting this bit right, getting it right until eventually you've got enough strength, okay? So once you feel ready, all you want to start doing is kicking a bit harder, but also making sure your hands are really strong, because a lot of people will do this. They'll kick up and they'll get scared and they'll just crash like that. So you want to make sure that when you kick up, that you're also you're ready to hold it as well. So again, just practice going higher and higher until eventually you're all the way up there. And then just practicing coming down. You want to come down on the same foot that you kicked up on. So I kick up here, I come down on my left. the one that you step onto. Okay, so now that you've got that and you can kick up onto the wall, you just want to practice going on the wall and then just slowly letting go. So just tapping. See, one foot is not touching the wall and one is. And you just want to kind of go back and forth, back and forth. And that's just going to get your body used to holding the handstand and kind of rocking. Okay, so now we're ready to go without the wall. Okay, so now we're doing it without the wall. It's going to seem a lot scarier, but what we want to do is just not kick too hard. So we just want to practice the step, the kick, and then up, and then come down. Because if you kick too hard, then you might feel yourself going to fall over. But that's the other thing. We should start now practicing falling correctly. So if you're going to fall, what you want to do is you want to tuck your head into your chin and just kind of bring your arms in like this. You want to go here, oh, I'm falling, and roll just like that. The falling from a handstand is scary, but if you learn that little forward roll, then it's going to help you a lot. So now that we're comfortable with falling and we're not scared to kick up, then we're going to start getting ready to walk. And the reason we walk is to basically keep us in balance. So what will happen is you'll be kicking up and then you'll start feeling that your body will want to move. And then you just kind of want to use your hands and follow it. So if you feel yourself falling backwards, you go backwards, or forward, you just go forward. And then you just want to condition that over and over. And you want to try, the main objective of the handstand is try to move as little as possible. So eventually you can just be completely static and hold it. And in order to do that, you just have to have, I always use the Spider-Man analogy. If you've ever seen Spider-Man, the first one, when he's when he first gets his powers and he sees that he's got those like hairy fingertips, that's the same as the handstand. You want to imagine that you've got those pretty much hairy fingertips and they're gluing you to the floor, because it's the fingertips that are going to prevent you from walking forward or even walking backwards. So we just go up and you really want to put pressure on them. And just, if you're going to move, then just kind of put more pressure. Like, my body wants to start walking forward now, but I'm putting a lot of pressure on my fingertips to prevent me from moving forward. So that's the handstand. My top tips for that is just keep conditioning it every day, just for at least like 5 minutes, and you'll start to see some huge differences over time. Also, try to walk as little as possible. Try stay in the same position. And the last thing is make sure you can fall properly, because if you're doing handstands and you're falling really heavily and hard, then you're not going to enjoy it practicing them, and you're going to give up. So make sure you learn how to fall, and then everything's going to be easier. So that was the handstand tutorial. Keep training, and I'll see you guys soon. Hi guys, it's B-Boy Haribo, and in this tutorial we're going to learn how to do the elbow freeze. Okay, cool guys. So with the elbow freezes, I'll just show you the ones that we're going to be doing today. So it's the one elbow, and the double elbow, just like that. Okay, so the first thing we're going to learn with the elbow freeze is actually how to fall, because a lot of you, when you're doing this freeze, elbow freeze or a handstand freeze, you have a fear about just, because you've probably experienced it where you've went up and then you're holding it and then you just like fall right onto your back and you wind yourself or you hurt your feet or something like that. So imagine you could prevent that from happening every time, or even when you fell it didn't hurt anymore. Then you would likely want to practice it more. So the first thing we're going to do is just learn how to fall. So what happens there is when we go up to the elbow freeze, we just want to tuck our head in and roll to the side like that. So if you feel yourself falling, all you want to do is slide your elbows in the way towards yourself, and then just kind of tuck your head in at the same point as your where your hands are going. So my hands will come in and my head will come in like that. And you want to roll like kind of diagonally. You don't want to roll too much that way because it'll be harder. So you just want to go up and you feel yourself falling, then just keep that arm, bring it in. That's going to help. The shoulder's going to break the fall, and then the head coming in is going to make sure you don't like get a sore head pretty much. So now that we've got that, now we should be ready to go. If we're going to fall, we don't mind. So the first thing is with the elbow freeze, obviously everyone thinks, oh, it's all about the elbows, but no, it's not. It's actually all in the hands. The hands are what's keeping you balanced. Well, even your fingertips more specifically than your hands. So what we want to practice is just going up. Make sure that you're quite spread out, but not too far out when you're going up. Just enough to find that perfect balance point, and just practice going up and down, up and down, up and down, until you find that point. And see, my eyes are kind of just looking at that other hand over here. They're not right in front of there, because that's going to make it tricky. Or they're also not in between, so they're not tucked in like that. And it's the exact same with the double elbow. You just want to practice going up, and then your eyes, your head shouldn't be going through like that or too far forward. You just want it to be, sorry, I'm just getting my balance point. You just want to have that perfect point where you can hold it, and basically if you feel yourself falling, adjust yourself into that right position. Again, with the elbow freeze and the handstand, it's just all in the hands, and you just want to practice kicking up and down until eventually you've got it perfect, and it's just about conditioning again and again. So that was the elbow freeze. Good luck with training that, and I'll see you guys in the next tutorial. Hi guys, it's B-Boy Haribo, and in this tutorial we're going to learn how to do a chin flip, also known as a monkey flip or Valdez. Okay, cool guys, so I'll just quickly show you what the chin flip, Valdez or monkey flip looks like. And I'll just do it from this angle. Sweet. Okay, so the chin flip or Valdez, whatever you call it, is one of those flips that I really recommend when you're first beginning to learn flips or acrobatics, whatever you guys call it. So it's really a basic type of flip, and it's really easy to learn, and once you get it, it can look really cool into things like footwork, into power, and just transitioning into things. So let's just get right on into it. So the first thing we want to do is just practice breaking it down into little steps. So we start with our strong hand back, which for me is my right hand, and then just here, okay? So one really key thing in the chin flip is the hips. So the hips is really what's going to push you up and over as well, okay? As well as the hand, but the hips are key. But for now, the first step is we go here, and we want our right foot just to step over to the side. So here's what I mean. We want to drill this here and then come back. One more time, here and then come back, okay? So now that you've got that, that's pretty basic. Step 2 is you want to now follow that foot with your left foot, but this time you kind of want to swing it round so that you face back the way facing the front. So what I mean by that is we go here, here. And I know what you're thinking, it looks basic, but it will really help to get the move when you're first learning it. So again, we're here. You can use your hips like this to build more momentum, go up and then down, because that's going to give you a lot of like power. And then you just go step over, just like that. Really easy. Okay? And the further you step your foot back, the easier that's going to be. So now that we've got the basic version, we kind of need to start making it harder by making some adjustments. So the key things now to making it look really cool are the hand. The hand, you want to swing it right by your ear, and you want to swing it pretty hard, so it's basically going like that. And then the second thing is you want that head to go right back like that. You don't want it to tilt to the side facing this way. You want it to swing right back. So here's what I mean. We go here, and we just want to swing over just like that. And now to make it more advanced, you can even put the second hand down, so it's kind of as if you were going into a handstand or something. So we go here, and then there. Some of you might find it easier if you go here like that, and then put your hand down as well. So what I mean by that is you go here, step, and then over just like that. Okay, cool guys, so that was the chimp flip Valdez. Remember, the most important things about that move are keep that head back when you're going, when you're swinging over, and make sure you're really swinging hard with that this left hand, or if it's your right hand that's swinging over, really swing those pretty hard. But keep training that. You'll pick this flip up in no time, and start practicing it going into other types of moves like handstands, or even if you can do a backflip or a gainer or anything like that. So keep training, and I'll see you guys soon. Cool guys, I'll just quickly show you what the front handspring looks like. We just go here, run, just like that. Okay, so with the front handspring, you don't really need a handstand that well, but as long as you can kind of go up a little bit, then it's going to help a lot. If you've never done a handstand, then you don't want to do this one. Go practice handstands first. That's really going to help you. So as long as you can do maybe a 1 or 2, 3 second handstand, you should be all right, because you're not really on your hands for that long. So the first step to the handspring is the run up, and the run up is probably 90% of it. Probably like 70% of it. Because a lot of people, they just run and they have no idea how they're getting into it, and they're just there's no timing or anything like that. So you want to make sure you get the running down, because once you've got the running and the hand placement all at the perfect time, then it's all about that speed, and the momentum that comes behind you is going to make the flip part like 100 times easier. So all we do is, it depends on you. You can take a big run up, even though I only recommend doing like a couple steps, not like a marathon before you go and do it. Just like maybe 4 or 5, but each person's different, so it's up to you really. But I recommend about 4 or 5 steps. So what happens is all we do is we go 1, 2, 3, and once we felt we've got enough power, we just swing our hands back, and then just as if we're going into a handstand. So a handstand, you kind of do a little foot comes out like that. For me, it's my left foot, and then you step onto that left foot, and then kick back with your right foot, just like that, or left, right, whatever footed you are. So it's the same as just going into a handstand, but people find it hard when they're doing that from a run. So you really just want to get it right. We go 1, 2, 3, all right, hands back. That's you getting ready for the power. A big step here, and then kick up, and we'll get to the flip bit now. Okay, so really you just want to master just going here, but without obviously walking. You just want to basically drill that swinging motion of just going here with lots of power before you get into it. Okay, now gymnastics people will hate me for saying this or for doing this, but I think, and the same with my backflip tutorial, that it's okay to go sideways at the start. So a lot of you are going to be scared about falling flat on your back, and that's understandable. So what I recommend doing is, once you've got your start, is just to go sideways, just like that. You see a lot of people kind of do mini round-offs or like side cartwheel round-offs, but that's all right to get you the idea of the front handspring. So just going here and jumping sideways. And eventually, you can start going more over. So that was really sideways, and then you can start going front handspring. And then you start becoming a little bit better until eventually you just get the fear is kind of gone, and you're like, I've got enough power, and you can just go right over just like that. So once you've got it sideways, then you're ready to go forward and right over. So the most important keys with the front handspring is you really want to kick this back foot really hard. Well, both feet really hard. So once you're kicking up, it's not as simple. You really want it to go. Once you're up, it's just keeping going. Just really right over yourself. And as that's happening, you want to do a mini push with your shoulders. So something like as if you're like doing that. That's kind of what's happening. So if you head on over to the academy, you'll see my slow motion, breakdanceacademy.com, you'll see my slow motion analysis of this, where you'll see exactly what's happening with my body in the front handspring. But that was the front handspring tutorial. My top tips are practice down a hill, like on grass, obviously, not like on a big concrete thing. And also make sure it's not too steep or anything, because if you're doing it down a hill, you're obviously going to have all that momentum from like gravity or whatever pushing you forward. Other key things are have a crash mat. That's going to make it easier, or if you're at home, just do a mattress or whatever. It's a fun one to do. Eventually you'll be able to like start landing on one foot or just doing it from a kick back, which I'll do in another tutorial. But good luck with that, and I'll see you guys soon. Hi guys, it's B-Boy Haribo, and in this tutorial we're going to learn how to do the backspin. Okay, cool guys, so I'll just quickly show you what the backspin looks like. Okay, so the backspin is one of those breaking moves that is really fun to do when you've got a slippy floor and you've got a slidey t-shirt on or a slidey jumper on. Then it's really cool to just bust out a little backspin. It can kind of look a bit cheesy at times, but if done properly, then it can look really, really cool as well, especially if you do it into transitions. Anyway, so how we want to start the backspin is kind of in this jazz split position like this. So if you're like here, sitting on your butt, then bend one leg here and one leg here. So I'm right-footed, so I'm bending my left foot and keeping this one straight. So the first step of the backspin, and what we want to focus on, is obviously getting onto our back. So we want to just practice going from here and then getting onto our kind of upper back. So what I mean by that is we go kick around, and as that's happening, we're kind of going onto our elbow and then onto our back. So I'll show you from this angle. We go here, kick, 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 kick back. So, and from this angle, we go kick around, and then we're coming onto our back as it gets to about here, and that's the first step we want to work. So again, we're just going kick and back. A lot of beginners, they really rush too quick, and they just kick too hard, and then they stay up like that. You want to really, don't rush the backspin. Take your time with it. Just kick and back, nice and easy, okay? So step one again, kick around, back, onto the back. Okay, so now we're ready for step two. People think that the most important leg in the backspin is the first kick, because that's where all the power comes from, but that is wrong. It's actually the right, well for me, my right foot, it might be for left if you're going the other way. Anyway, so it's actually the right foot that gives you all the power in the backspin. So what you want to do is you kick around, we're now onto our back, step one. Now step two is getting the other leg, for me the right, around and you want to kick it hard and around. It seems obvious, but trust me, if you're new to this, you're gonna do something like this. You're gonna kick, and you're just gonna bring it up like that. You're not gonna kick all the way around. The more around the foot goes, the easier it will be. A good little kind of drill that I saw that will help the backspin is kind of imagining doing teddy bear rolls, and then because that's the way your legs are coming around like that. Okay, so you can do that if it's a little bit easier. Okay, so we got step 1 onto our back. Step 2 is now kicking. So now we should be here. Step 1, kick, and then step 2, around. Okay, so don't even think about going for the spin yet until you've got that right, the strong foot, the big kicking foot, whatever you want to call it, right around. So we go left, right, and like that. The other thing is, you want to be actually spinning about up here on kind of this point of your back. You don't want to be on the flat of your back like that. You want to kind of aim to be up there. Okay, so now step 3, we're pretty much ready to go. So now we've got 1, 2, and then it's pretty much all about letting go of the hand. You want to use that hand as well. So when you're going around, it's 1, 2, and then let go of that hand and proper push yourself. So here we go. We go 1, 2, and kick around, and do any type of shape as well. So guys, that was pretty much the backspin. Some tips for when you've got the backspin already and you want to make it a little bit cooler. Try maybe delaying the tuck in, so keeping your legs open for as long as possible, and then drilling. So I'll kind of show what I mean by that. So go in here, open, and then close. And also you might want to do something cooler with your hands and feet. So that's up to you. Just kind of like have a muck about with that. Top tips for that, the backspin, is make sure that you're on a slidey floor, because obviously if you're on carpet or something like that, it's going to be quite hard. If you are doing it at home and there's carpet, just get a cardboard box or something like that. The other thing is make sure your top is also slidey. That's why a lot of breakers, even now today and back in the day, they wore windbreakers, because those are like super slidey and stuff like that. And last but not least, remember, it's this leg. Just practice kicking around, and then the right leg, just this, that. It's just all about that right leg that's kicking around. Okay, I hope that tutorial helped you guys. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace. Hi guys, it's B-Boy Haribo, and in this tutorial we're going to learn how to do the windmill. Cool guys, so I'll just quickly show you the windmill. Okay guys, so it's the windmill, probably the most important power move in the whole break-in. It's the one that most people want to learn, and it's the one that once you get can be really fun as well. 2 requirements that you must have before you learn this move is 1, the cricket freeze, and 2, the back spin. Even though that's not that necessary, it will help you with the understanding of the legs, and it will just make it easier overall. So let's just get right on into it. So there's a few ways that you can start the windmill. There's starting from the back spin and then kicking round. There's starting from your knees, just like this, or they're starting from this position here. I'm going to recommend this one just because I think you'll get enough control from the cricket freeze. And if you're doing the backspin entrance, it's easy to lose momentum, and it's harder to catch when you're going around again, even though it feels like you're doing it right because you're kicking around more, but doing it this way I've found has just been the easiest from all the people that I teach as well. So let's just begin. We go from here, and then the first step is just practicing going into the cricket freeze. So one more time, here, cricket freeze. Simple as that. Okay, now here is where we probably get to the hardest part of the whole windmill. This is where it gets a little bit difficult. So now that we're in the cricket freeze, what we want to do is practice dropping and kicking at the same time. So we go cricket freeze, and if you focus on my arm here, then it's just basically going to do a drop like this. Drop onto my side. So one more time, I'm in the cricket freeze, and I'm just dropping onto my side, kind of like that. But then also, as that's happening, my feet are kicking up and round. So if you watch my left foot, it goes up, and my right foot swings around. So we go here, here, left foot comes up, right one comes around, just like that. One more time, it goes here, left foot comes up, right foot around, and drop. So the drop is probably going to be, well, it is probably the hardest part of the windmill when you're first learning it. You're also going to probably get bruises. I think most people I know that have learned windmill, about 90%, you're going to get little, I think it's called windmill burns. So basically, you're going to get bruises here, and it's going to kind of nip your skin, but once you get over that pain, your body gets completely used to it. So again, we've gone step 1, which is cricket freeze. Step 2 is the drop and kick. So let me do it from this angle for you. So watch my feet and my arms. So I'm going here, cricket freeze, round, and kick. Just like that, okay? So third step is now you want to make sure that you're on the right part of your back. So a good indicator of being on the right part of your back is back going in, being able to go into a backspin. So watch this. We've now got one step. We can drop onto our back and then backspin. So you know that I'm ready to go. I'm not landing like that and I can't go again. If your body's still spinning, then you've pretty much got one. So now that we have one, here's the now second most hardest part of the windmill, which is now going for the second, well, actually catching the second one. So we're now here, we're onto our backspin, and we're just going to try and catch it into another cricket freeze. So I'll just demonstrate that for you. We go here, windmill, and catch. Now it is pretty hard to catch because of the momentum. What I recommend is you can practice it from a backspin. We go backspin into like that. Okay, now that we've got one backspin into a windmill, we just want to now keep it going. Before I do that, I just want to make sure and highlight that you never stop in the windmill. I do see beginners, when they're first learning the windmill, do something like this. They go, windmill, catch, windmill, catch, windmill, catch. Just like that. You don't want to do that. It's just about, as soon as you're on your back on the first one, you're going again for the second one. So let me just do like 3 or 4 for you. So we're here, I'll do it from this angle. Cool, so that was the windmill, guys. It's one of the funnest breaking moves to do. That with 90s and air flares and probably head spins as well. My top tips for the windmill are, make sure you've stretched. You want to have straight legs when you're doing the windmill. You don't want to have them too bent because they won't look as good. Make sure that you yeah, pretty much that your legs are open. And basically then again, you just want to make sure that you're kind of catching. Once you start, that's the other thing, once you start getting more advanced, your body will start naturally going and you'll barely even be stabbing, which means, when I mean stabbing, it means this going into there. So that's pretty much that. Keep your legs open, make sure you're kind of catching a little bit, and that's it really. Just keep training and you'll eventually get it. So that's all for today. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care. Peace. Okay, cool guys, so if you're new to the coin drop, then the only thing I've got to prepare you for is that it can kind of hurt on your shoulders, just like the windmill. You're probably going to get a bruising, so if you're going to be doing it, I would recommend starting off on mats or kind of a soft floor, but if not, then wood's going to have to do it. So let's just get into the first step, and the first step is kind of like the sixth step, how we start out like this, and then all we're going to practice is jumping onto our upper back. So I'll just show you the first step. We go here, then back, okay? We just want to keep drilling that over and over. But what's happening is I'm right-handed and I'm pushing my right hand through my left hand, so it's going under. And at the same time that that's happening, my legs jump up, so they both come up and they twist around. So kind of like the windmill, my right leg's going to be leading it onto my back. So focus on my legs when I do this. I'm here, and then I kind of do a little hop, hop, and the right leg kind of swings you onto your back, okay? So one more time, I'll do that for you. We go here, and then we push up, and the right leg swings you around. The key with the coin drop, when you're landing on your back, you don't want to be landing flat here. You want to be landing up, so you want to be about like that high up, so kind of up on the kind of shoulder blades area is ideally where you want to be. And if you feel yourself spinning, then you're kind of on the right lines. Okay, so now we're on to step one. We're pretty much halfway there. This is probably the trickiest part of the coin drop, and it's about popping up. So what I recommend you start with is two ways, starting from our back, and then kind of doing the entrance to the backspin, which if you don't know, then watch the backspin tutorial. But it goes like this. You kick around, and as you're coming around, you just want to pop up. It's kind of like doing a backwards roll, but we're doing it sideways. So again, this is practicing for the pop-up. We go around and pop up just like that. The other way is just doing it from a roll. So kind of like a commando roll where you roll sideways. You can just go here, and then bring your body up. The most important thing when you're popping up is you want to have your hands prepared. A lot of people just leave them kind of down here. You want to have them up and kind of close to your head, so when you're rolling, you're popping up. So one more time, I'll do it from the back. We can do a back and pop, or we just do a roll and just pop yourselves over like that. The main hand that's going to be pushing you off is the left one first. Okay, so now we're ready for step three, where we're going to be putting it all together. So I'll just show you what that's going to look like. Just like that. Okay, so all we want to do is when we're on our back here, our body's going to be naturally wanting to spin, but you don't want to spin too much, and then just roll onto your head and push. So I'll do it this way for you. We go coin drop and push, coin drop and push, coin drop and push. Okay, so that's pretty much the coin drop, guys. My top tips for that is make sure that you don't spin too much. Make sure you're in the right position on your back, not too high up and not too low down, otherwise it's going to be difficult. And the last one is make sure you've got your hands ready by your head, so you're ready to just pop up like that. So that's the coin drop, guys. I'll see you on the next tutorial. Peace.